Hello all you Conan Exile fans out there, it's Granny Gamester back with another beginner's guide to Conan Exiles. Now I am playing on the PlayStation 4 single player, and in today's guide we're going to talk about thrall pots and feed boxes and how these work. So we're going to start with the thrall pot, and the way you get this is of course to go into your feeds. You want to scroll over to survivalist and then scroll down to Thrall Taker. Now you can do this at level 10, and as you can see on the right, that's going to give me or teach me the Lesser Wheel of Pain, the truncheon, the fiber bindings, and the thrall pot. Now the thrall pot is crafted at the carpenter's bench for 25 branches and 50 iron bars. So let's go over and make one. Now, as you can see, it's right here. So we're just going to make one. Now, these thrall pots are designed to feed your thralls. And when the game first came out, thralls died if you didn't feed them. But that's not the case anymore. If you don't have food on them, they're not going to die. So this is not necessary for that. What this is necessary for is sieges. And if you play PvP, if your thralls get damaged, they're going to need the food to heal themselves. That's the only reason you're going to need this. And there are some other really good uses for this too. So I am going to put this up here because the thrall pot covers a radius of 25 foundations. So that means if I set it here, it's going to cover 25 foundations that way, that way, that way, and that way. So that's going to cover my whole base and any thrall that I put in those foundations. So in a total, it's actually 50 across, but you just want to set your thrall pot right in the middle. So let me grab this, and we are going to put that down, and it does fit on one foundation, but of course I have fences up here, so I'm going to have to set it a little bit away. But there we go. Now this does have 35 slots in it, and these are all the thralls that it is feeding in your area. It does tell you all the thralls that it's covering. So this is all the thralls that I have actually. So it's covering my dancer, it's covering my bearers, Delincia, my archers, yeah, everything. So that's pretty cool that it lets you know that. So once you have this set up, you want to put gruel in there, because this is going to give your thralls strength, and it also gives them the buff of any food in their inventory. So for me, gruel is going to give all my thralls the buff of strength. Now, if you want your archers to receive the buff of accuracy, you'll want to put grilled fish in here. Yeah, unappetizing fish. So we're going to go down and take a look at our thralls. Can I make it? Yeah, I did make it. All right. So we're going to look at her. Now, in order for her to use this thrall pot, once the lag stops here, she needs to have at least one slot open. So that gives me another slot to put arrows in, which is really, really beneficial. Because during a purge, if she happens to use all of these, she now has another backup here for arrows. But she will not take food out of that thrall pot unless she has an empty slot here. So make sure that she has that. And as you can see below in her diet, that the grilled unappetizing fish is what's going to give her accuracy. But like I said, I want her to gain in strength because I have the accuracy armor on her. So if we take a look at her stats, you could see in the right hand side under strength, she has the plus 14 from the gruel that I gave her when I placed her. Then she's getting a plus 5 in accuracy from her armor. Yeah. So that's the way I like to set my archers up. Now again, the only way this pot is going to be beneficial to them is if they take damage from a purge, or from, if you're playing on a server and there's a PvP situation and they take damage, they will take that thrall or gruel to feed themselves. Yeah. So that's the important thing about that. Now, if you don't want to feed your thralls out of this, all you have to do is fill all their slots, and they will not use any of the food that you put in this thrall pot. Now, this thrall pot also has a benefit to decaying, like the refrigerators. So it's not as good. It's only 90% that it reduces decay time versus 100% with the preservation boxes. But anything that has a timer on it, see, this expires in 15.33 minutes. So we're going to put it over into here and take a look at it. And now you can see it expires in 2 hours and 34 minutes and 45 seconds. Yeah. So that's a lot. That's a lot, guys. So you can use this as a preservation box long before you can actually are able to make a preservation box. Yeah, before you can get ice or anything. That's a good use for this thrall pot. But remember, if you don't want your thralls taking this for food, go ahead and fill all their slots. But I find in single player, it's not a big deal. They're only going to take food out of here when there's a purge and they're actually taking damage and need to heal themselves. Yeah, so that's not really a, big concern in that respect. So yeah, it's a great thing to have on your base. And again, it covers all of my thralls in this area. So the other item that functions just like the thrall pots is your feed box for your pets. Yeah, because your pets do not use the thrall pot. That's designed specifically for your thralls. So to get that, again, you go into your feeds. You want to scroll over to Survivalists. And again, you want to scroll down, but this time under Thrall Taker, you want to select Apprentice Tamer. And you can do this at level 13. And as you can see on the right, that teaches me Animal Pen, the Feed Box, the Small Animal Pen, and then all the Shade Spice foods. And those are used for getting greater pets, but that comes a little later in the game when you can actually go after Shade Bloom. You need that to make those. So once you have that, I'm going to go ahead and select that. Now you can also make that at your carpenter's bench. So we're going to go over here. And now you can see we have the feed box. So we're going to craft one of those. And just like the thrall pot, you want to put food in this that your pets will eat. In this respect, it's a little bit different than the thralls because I give my thralls all the same food. They all get gruel because it's easy to make. I like the strength buff, but pets are a little bit different because they all eat different items. So we're going to go ahead and grab this, and I am going to place this centrally on my base right next to my thrall pot so that it covers a good radius of my base. So let's go ahead and put that down right here. And once I have that, we're going to open it up. Now my greater shieldback down there, he's going to like plant fiber, but my horse is going to need the gray flower lupin. Yeah, and these are both strength items for them. So I'm going to go ahead and put them in there. And then you can see on the right hand side, it tells me what pets this is feeding. And that's the greater shaleback and the horse. That's the only two pets I have. So both of them are now covered. And again, this is just like the thrall pot. They are only going to use that food when they're taking damage from a purge or on a server, a PvP situation. Yeah. Otherwise, they will not die from not having any food on them. Same as thralls, you know, they'll be perfectly fine. It's just that when they take damage, they will need that protection. Yeah. And again, it functions just like the Thrall Pot. It does preserve foods. So let me grab this out of the Thrall Pot. Oh, where did they go? Okay, somebody used it, right? Yeah. Who used it? Did you use it? Yeah, she took it. She says, I need some food, man. I'm going to take that. So she took my grilled. Yeah. Oh, that's too funny. Did you take anything? So if they obviously, if they don't, and he took a gruel. So if they don't have any food on them, they will take, I guess, something. Yeah. But this is interesting. Let's see if she took some food. Yeah. Okay. So they all grabbed some food out of there. So again, let's go in then and grab something expires that I have in my fridge here. I must have some more food in here. Absolutely. Yeah, let's grab the same as we had. Grab some steaks there. And we'll test this out. All right, so we're going to put this in there. Whoops, I didn't check the timer on it before we put it in. So it's going to expire in 29 minutes and 44 seconds. So we're going to plop it in there. And now it's going to expire in 4 hours and 56 minutes. Yeah, of game time, of course. So that's pretty awesome, unless you're on a server. If you're on a server, well, then that's a different story. But this is a good way to, yeah, preserve your timed items. 90% is pretty good versus 100%. It's pretty good way to do that early game. So yeah, guys, that's the way it's done. These are very handy. A lot of people do not use them anymore. But I always found it beneficial during a purge. If I wanted to put more arrows on my guys, I didn't have to worry about them running out of food with just one slot of food. Yeah, they would be definitely covered, and the same with the pets. So yeah. Well, all right, guys, that's how they work. The Thrall Pot and Feed Boxes. Yeah, if you liked, give me the big old like. And if you'd like to see more, just subscribe. And if you hit that little bell, you'll be notified when I post my next video. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. And until next time, GG out.